Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I got a bunch of admin stuff to do this morning. I have, done all my morning routine, showered. I did put a little bit of makeup on. I still have my morning voice, clearly. And I'm having my coffee. So come on in and let me know where you are watching from. I woke up to sales made in my sleep. That is always a good and wonderful day, and I am grateful for that. It is great to be able to start your day ahead, and that is why you want to have automation in place in order to be able to make money in your sleep. So if you have a daily goal of $1,000 and you wake up and you've already sold 300, now you're 30% towards your goal without having done anything. So you can actually still not only be on pace to meet your goal, but to exceed your goals. So making money in your sleep is wonderful. Highly, highly recommend, 5 stars, okay? So for some reason, one of my automations doesn't look like it worked though. So a person was able to pay me, but I want to make sure that they got access to the class. So I'm logging in here and making sure I don't get distracted, because I am a little distracted right now. So I am going to go into System.io. Let me get logged in here. And with double verification and all that, I may have to check. So that is so weird. I know she paid, but her payment honestly looked a little funny to me, and that's why. Because something just is not, something is a little off. So I'm gonna go grab her email from my payment processor and add her to the course, because we want to always deliver. And with System.io, it is so easy. So we just go in and we add student, first name, last name, and email, and full access. That's one of the things I love about System.io, is that you can give partial access and you can drip content, okay? So this is a pay in full one time, so she gets full access, okay? And then I also heard that one of my emails needed an update. So I'm gonna come over here to my email service provider. And I am going to check some things out. That's so weird. So weird. Oh, we're just waiting. And I will have some more coffee while we do. Okay. I'm gonna have to ask her, because I don't know what email that is. Yeah, there's something going on. Is Mercury in retrograde? There, that worked. Okay, so we got that out of the way. And then on Saturday, I held a paid Facebook Ads Mastery, and those who paid get access to the replay. So I still need to get that set up and get that sent out also. So come on in, let me know where you are watching from. My name is Tamira. I am a certified digital marketing expert. I have my own products and courses. I do coaching and consulting, and I also sell done for you courses. So any questions you have on digital marketing, come on in, let me know. Welcome, Chokru, and Chandra Keys. Welcome, welcome. That coffee is so good. So good. So, I'm not sure what email she's talking about. She said the email needs to be checked. I think that might have been supposed to be for someone else, is what I'm going to go with, because it just doesn't make sense. So I think that email must have been for someone else. So, yeah. So I really have to make some decisions about this Facebook Ads Masterclass, because I'm going to resell it as a course. Okay, so this is what I got to walk through. I want to resell it as a course, and and that means I'm going to add some things to it. So the first thing to do is get a transcript. How about we start there? Let's get a transcript. So I'm going to get it uploaded and get it transcribed. Let's do that. And now let me find the file. And I have found the file. So let me get it uploaded. And then we'll get it transcribed. And while it is being transcribed, I gotta think about which of my platforms I want to upload it to, because you want to always protect your content. People are weird. I'm just gonna be honest with you. People are weird, and people will have no qualms, no hesitation about sharing your content. They paid for it, so they feel like they can share it with whomever they want to, and they don't realize the harm that that's doing to you, diluting your brand, diluting the value of your work. And it's just downright wrong. And it's just, so I'm not saying that the people who purchased would do that, but you never know until it happens. And so you have to protect yourself. And so, like, I know people who will just upload it as an unlisted YouTube video, and it's like, that's not smart, because anybody with the link can now watch your content, and you can look at your numbers and you will see, like, there are people like me, I will watch a good training over and over and over again, but most people aren't like that. So you can look at your numbers and you can kind of see, this is a lot of views for the number of people who have purchased it, and I'm not getting enough questions in that for it to add up that this many people are actually watching this video of those who paid, so they have to be sharing it. And so I would just recommend not doing that. And y'all got to be careful of these coaches who are telling y'all stuff like that, because they clearly don't think like business people, because business people know better than that, right? And that's where, again, ladies, you need both your masculine and your feminine energy. You need both, okay? You need both your masculine and your feminine energy, because your masculine energy is gonna be like, no, you ain't gonna be out here sharing my stuff, my hard work for free. They want to see it, they can pay me just like you did. And true, they can share passwords and emails, and login info. But there are also, some of the softwares can even tell you the IP address. So if more than one IP address is logging in, there's a few different ways to be able to mitigate it, right? Because you don't want people just willy-nilly sharing your stuff, and some people will definitely do that. So I just want to make sure Oh my God, don't tell me that didn't record. It did not record. Oh, it did not record. It did not record. Oh. All right, so now I gotta figure out what to do because I promised a replay. So I might just, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do because it did not record. So yeah, I'm gonna have to send an email out and let people know that there was a problem, and unfortunately, it did not record. Oh, that sucks because I wanted to resell that. So I will do another one and give them access to the replay of the second one because I'll just do another masterclass and sell that masterclass and use my same presentation, my same notes, and then they will get access to that one. Oh, this is what happens though. The life of a digital marketer. This is what happens. Okay, so come on in, let me know where you are watching from. Have you created any digital courses? What questions you have that I can answer? I have been creating my own digital products, courses, ebooks, workshops, webinars, you name it, and coaching and consulting since 2013. And I've been in marketing since 1992. So, so let me know what questions you have and how I can help you. I do have an awesome digital marketing community that does have content in there. It does have done for you products that you can repackage and sell as your own. So let me know what I can help you with. I'm just gonna finish typing this out real quick and then we'll be ready to go. I cannot believe I don't have a recording. Okay. Okay, so how do you start your morning? What do you do first thing in the morning? For me, gratitude. I have to do gratitude. I actually read a little bit. This is my daily stoic 365 days of meditations. And so I love this. I have other devotionals. I have a leadership devotional that I've had for years that I read. Oh, is today the 18th? It's my cousin's birthday. I'll have to tell them happy birthday. So, I like to get my mind right first thing in the morning. And that includes, because, when you work from home, I know people who sometimes, like, they forget to shower. Like, y'all got to shower. You got to brush your teeth, boo, it could be really easy to fall into that. So having that morning routine, and I also have a nighttime routine, because it just really matters. It can begin, especially here where I live in the winter, when it gets really cold and dreary in the winter. It can feel like Groundhog Day. Like the days are just running into each other, and it's like you get up and you do the same thing day after day. And you might think like, oh, having a routine is just going to make it feel more like Groundhog Day. But it actually gives you more structure. And I find that I'm more productive with a routine. If you actually have ADHD, or you feel like you have ADHD, having that list of things that you are going to make sure that you do on a given day is going to help with that. Having certain tasks that you do on certain days, like batching content on Mondays or Thursdays is, suggested. Having a free day where you just can be creative and you can play around with something that I really personally love and enjoy. It helps me to, it just helps me to stay inspired and kind of get out of a rut. It helps and keep a rut from performing. I have days too where I just sit and I dig into my analytics, kind of like a business review day. So, and that's the thing, while some of my corporate experience wasn't the best, I learned a lot that actually helps me as an entrepreneur. Because I heard a saying one time that there's this saying that's treated like a business and it will pay you like a business. And I heard somebody say, well, for some people, because you've been an employee for so long, you went from being a student for so long to being an employee, and being a student prepared you for being an employee. You don't really know how to behave as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And so in the beginning, for some people, you actually have to treat it like a job. Like, write a job description for yourself. What is it you need to do every day? And that is where your daily method of operation comes in. What are things that you need to do every single day, okay? So like Sunday is typically, I don't do a lot of work. It's my rest day. And the thing is, what I do, I love it so much that it doesn't feel like work. So it's really easy for me to become consumed by it. And that is not healthy. That's not healthy for me. That's not healthy for anyone involved. And so I make sure that I have days throughout the week that I get up, I go out, I take walks, I go and treat myself to dinner, to lunch, make lunch dates with friends, with family. Like today I have a lunch date with my daughter, and we may surprise my grandson, and he may go with us over the state line and go to lunch. And I think he's been wanting to go to this place too. So, just doing things where, with me being an introvert, I could be very hermit-like and just stay in the house for like weeks at a time. So making those dates and getting out. I have work dates, right? I do work dates with friends, meet up, go to a coffee shop and hang out. I have a couple spots that I go to and I will work from for part of the day or the entire day, just to break things up, break up the monotony, and really get outside of the house. Because sometimes if I'm in the house in my case apartment for too long, you can lose your inspiration, you can lose your motivation, you can not. And that's not why we do this. We do this because we want to be more joyful. We want to have more freedom. So I remember there was a time when I used to get really down on myself and feel, because I was still in that worker mentality, right? Like I was on too rigid of a schedule and was treating myself like some of those bad bosses in the past, like those toxic bosses in the past, micromanaging myself and you know, making myself fit into that farmer schedule, right? Like you got to be up early, you know, and at that time I still, my hormones, I didn't realize that's what it was, but my hormones were still very out of whack. So I would be up way too late, and then if I slept in a little bit, I would be so hard on myself because I was hearing everybody else in my head, right? Hearing everybody else in my head, and oh, you're lazy, you're still in bed, and blah 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 blah. You need to get a real job, and it's like, no, you know, everybody's body is different, and if your body at at a certain point in time is more of a night owl, you know, people can judge you for you. I don't do early morning appointments, no matter what time I go to bed or get up. No early morning appointments for me, okay? That is my time. That's my time with God. That's my time, right? Just because I'm up doesn't mean I'm available to you. And I've had to tell people that. And I've had clients who didn't want to work with me. I've had people who didn't want to work with me because I wouldn't meet with them at 8 o'clock on a Monday. Then go find somebody else to do it. Because if you want to rearrange my schedule and rearrange when I'm available, you're just going to be a nightmare client anyway, right? And so, no, right? And so I had to learn to give myself grace like I would give somebody else. Because if I had a friend who was like, oh my God, I'm so horrible, you know, I slept in until 9 o'clock this morning, and then I found out they were up till 3 o'clock in the morning building sales funnels, I would be like, but you were up till 3 o'clock in the morning building sales funnels, so fuck them people and what they got to say, right? And so I had to learn to be able to do that and say those things to myself as well. And so those are some of the things that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to entrepreneurship. I was watching Brooklyn, who created DBA, last night, and you could tell she was just exhausted. And that's the part people don't talk about, right? Because you can look at her Stand account and you can see that since May she's made $77,000, and she's always bright and cheery, and she just recently had a big move. She's got like a 2-year-old. They're looks like they might be multi-generational living. Her mom is there. She's helping her mom get launched. She's launching DBA 2.0, and all these other opportunities are coming to her. And people don't realize, you know, how that can physically impact you and how it's great, but it also can be exhausting too. And so it's about finding that balance and showing yourself grace and giving yourself mercy, just like you would do the next person, right? We don't have to be Superwoman. We don't have to do it all, right? And when I say balance, I mean more so harmony, right? You have to be able to know when to give yourself a rest. You know, you can rest. It's okay to rest. Just don't quit, okay? And so we took a vote yesterday, and we're going to push out the launch of DBA Volume 2 until July 1st. So you can still get Volume 1 right now, and it will include Volume 2 at no additional charge. So you can get Volume 1 now at $111 while I am live, instead of $333 for both Volume 1 and Volume 2. Okay, so you still have time. You still can get in before Volume 2 is released. Okay, this is such exciting news. This is great news. I am very happy about this news because, you know, we got some supporting materials in order to be able to promote it and promote it properly. So I'll be working on that today to you know, continue. Basically, I'm going to write a drip series for email to my list, and actually I have one that was already written. I need to go in and make some adjustments to that. Matter of fact, let me look at that now, just because I might be able to stop an email that's scheduled to go out today with some news. So let's see here. Yep, so let me pause this. Let me pause this so that, because it's scheduled to go out in about an hour and a half. So I'm going to pause that so I can make some adjustments to it and share the good news that it has been extended. And you know, that we got some great PD. Oh my God, I think it's Jacayla. Her graphics that she created for us are absolutely stunning and beautiful. Like, it is just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I'm so excited. So excited. And, all I had to do was go in and add my own links. It is just awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm so grateful to be a part of this community. And the community was at like 2,800 people last week when I joined on the 12th, right? And last night it hit 3,000. Oh my God, it's growing even faster, y'all. I told y'all this was gonna happen. It is now at 3,757 people. 3,757 people. When I went to bed last night, it had just hit 3,600. So this community is growing like wildfire, and we still haven't even hit true momentum yet. We are still, where is my little thing? We are still, oh my God. Okay, so if this is growth here, my granddaughter's gonna be so mad I'm using her board. She'll be all right. I'll buy her another one. So if this is a growth chart, right, of a product or business life cycle, we are still down here, y'all. All the money is to be made between those 2 points. And we are still down here. Still down here. And you can get in for only $111 or $27 with Klarna. I sold 2 yesterday. I had 2 sales yesterday. 2 sales yesterday at $111. And I also sold an AI traffic generation system too. Okay, so I had sales when I woke up this morning. Like, imagine you go to bed and you wake up and there's money in your deposit and all you did was go to sleep for a product that you created, and you don't even create the DBA. You don't even have to create it. All you do is hook up some things and set up your store. And I already had my store set up, so I was up and running in minutes. In minutes, okay? So, yeah, this is awesome. Awesome news. And not until July 1st, so you still have time to get in for $111. At 3,800 people now, there's 3,757 members of DBA, and we are still at the very, very beginning of this. We haven't even hit like rapid growth and momentum yet, hyper growth. We haven't even hit that where it just shoots up. We haven't even hit that part yet. It's still way down here. Oh my God, do you know how much opportunity that is? That is why I joined the community and the collaboration. It is such an awesome community, and I love the energy and the excitement. Oh, if you are looking to be a part of something bigger than yourself, I did a post yesterday that you will never make money in your sleep until you monetize your experience, your skills, your knowledge, your experiences, right? So like weight loss can be an experience. You can document and chronicle your weight loss journey and put it in an ebook. You can make a product out of it. Now you of course want to do all your different disclaimers in that, right? You can do the same thing with like your journey of, there's someone that I follow on TikTok who just became a widower a few months ago, and all her content has switched. She used to do a completely different subject and topic as her content, but right now her life is consumed with grief, and she's sharing her journey of life after the death of a spouse. I know several people who have created content in that area over the years, and some people end up creating courses, creating paid communities with resources and support groups. And that is the power of a digital product, is that you are creating a product to help other people. And often we feel like, we have to have all this education, we have to have, all these accreditations and certifications. And sometimes life gives you the accreditation and the certification. That's all that you need is your own journey, right? And so for me, that just happens to be marketing, which I do have the formal education in, which I do have the decades of experience. And coming out here and talking to y'all about that, I sometimes forget how great I am. Like, if you know me, you know that I'm great, but sometimes I forget exactly how great I am, right? Like the other day when I was listing off all the brands that I've worked with and for over the years, it's incredible, right? And I mean, it goes all the way back to high school when I worked at McDonald's. In high school, I learned a tremendous amount about business working for McDonald's, but my brain, my mind was open to it, right? And so that's where a lot of my foundation in marketing and branding comes from, is from what I experienced and saw at McDonald's, and it's played out over and over throughout the years in my career. Okay, so I understood that what made McDonald's a franchise was you were buying their systems, right? You are buying their operations, how they operate. And that includes, they tell you where you can buy the burger patties from, where you can buy all the supplies you need. You can only go through their approved list because it's their brand and they're going to protect their brand. I don't know if they still do it, but back then you used to get audited twice a year. One was announced, one was unannounced, and you got graded in like 4 or 5 different categories, right? Same with when I worked in banking, you would get audited and it was always unannounced. You never knew when the auditor was going to show up, and you could lose your job as a manager, as an assistant manager, if your branch failed an audit, right? That was like immediate, like you were going on a performance improvement plan. I never failed an audit. I think I was even set up to try to fail an audit once. And yeah, I didn't get dinged for that. That was all on the assistant branch manager. So she got in big trouble for that. So, that's what I was saying earlier when I first got on here. You have to be diligent about protecting your brand, your intellectual property, and your assets. A lot of people seem to just throw in the towel because they figure they don't have the resources for, the legal team and all of that. And it's like, look, I will fight you about my shit. I will fight you. I do not play about my stuff, right? Because I know that I put out higher quality work than most people, which again is part of why I joined DBA, because I saw the quality of the work, right? I might not have joined DBA had I not seen the tour of what's actually inside the course. So if you want a free look of what is inside DBA, what I want you to do is go and message me right now, because I haven't even set that funnel up yet. So go ahead and message me right now, and I can still, collect your information manually and send it to you. And I will have that funnel up in the next 24 hours. But I'm out here talking to y'all, and I feel bad when I'm looking at the screen and not talking to you. So I'm looking at you. I see you, right? And you can get a free look at it. You will get that beautiful PDF that Jaquela over at Luxury Studios put together for us, because it is so professional. It is absolutely beautiful. And I just want to touch on that because it's the craziest things. You hear and see the craziest things, right? Like, I have always been very transparent about MRR, right? I've always been very transparent about it. I've never bad talked it. Why? Because I understand that there are different price points, there are different ideal clients. There is more than enough out here for all of us to eat. So there's no need for me to bad talk a program, a concept. All I've ever said is that it is not a product, and I still say it. It's not a product, it's not a business model, and it is not an offer, okay? The offer is Digital Boss Academy at $111. When you buy now until July 1st, you get volume 1, and you also will get early access to volume 2 at no additional charge. That is the offer. Digital marketing is a skill set, and I've always been very clear about that, right? I've also said, and there's a video, I can send it to you, the first time I ever spoke publicly on, you know, the rise of MRR. One, it's not new. It's been around as long as I've been in online marketing. And I know it was around for years because it kind of took a little dip when I first found out about it, right? And basically what has happened in the last year or so is that it has become not only modernized, but feminized, right? It has a lot more feminine energy in how it is delivered and how it is marketed and sold. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And unfortunately, there are always a certain group who are going to market and sell things incorrectly. A lot of the people who marketed and sold direct sales and network marketing incorrectly came into this space, and for lack of a better term, it's the digital marketing space, but it's still not the offer, it's not the business model, and it's not the product. And that's what they did. They marketed it as if it, you know, like network marketing, right? And because network marketing is a business model, digital marketing is not a business model. Hang on just 1 second. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to show you. I had to clean it off first. It's not the cleanest, but here we go. Okay, so we've got digital marketing, right? So we've got digital marketing in the middle, okay? And then, for example, there's network marketing, right? And you can see that there's some overlap. So basically, you can use digital marketing to grow your network marketing business, which I did, okay? So network marketing DS, okay? There's, let's say, content marketing. And there is overlap, right? So you can use content marketing in your digital marketing strategy, right? So you see how this is playing out, right? What else is there? Email marketing, I think, is straight digital marketing, okay? So then there's email marketing, which is inside of digital marketing. All things digital, okay? So funnels, okay? That's a digital marketing skill. That's inside of the digital marketing bubble, right? And so you can use these things to grow your network marketing business. You can use them for content marketing. You can use them for social media marketing, okay? So you can see how these things, there's overlap, but digital marketing is a skill set. It's a skill set, right? And within that skill set are things like email marketing, building sales funnels, Facebook, building groups and communities. Those are all skills that fall in digital marketing, and you can use them to grow your social media presence. You can use them in content marketing, right? You can use them to build a network marketing and direct sales business. You can use them in your small business, in your local business, okay? So there's overlap, because that small business and local business is still going to do things that are in person, but they can still use digital marketing at those in-person events, right? Like there was a local shoe boutique that I used to love to go to and buy shoes that you could not get in most places, right? And at their cash register, they had a notebook where you could, and I don't think places do this anymore because of privacy laws, but you could put your email in there and they would send you coupons and discounts and sale notifications, right? So digital marketing is a skill set. It is not the product. It is not the offer, okay? So here's my little funny looking chart. Okay, so there's digital marketing overlapping with social media marketing, content marketing, network marketing, direct sales, small business, local, and you can use all other, there's so many different areas of marketing that you can apply, right? Like you could be a big major brand, right? Like, you know the major brands that you like Nike has a digital marketing strategy, Adidas, right? Even Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and they also have social media, which can overlap with digital marketing. And I might even put social media right in the digital marketing bubble, because social media is pretty much done digitally, okay? So that is why I say digital marketing is a skill set. It is a highly paid skill set, right? You can look up at, digital marketing salaries, right? And you could be a beginner and make about $50,000 a year. And then someone like me, there's really no cap, especially because I am a coach and consultant. So I pretty much determine and set my own pricing based on the value of the project that I am working on, right? And so one of the reasons we do things like digital marketing and social media marketing is to do, like Peter Drucker says, the goal of business is to create customers, right? To create customers, right? And so that definitely involves humanizing your brand, which is one of the things I love most about digital marketing, is because that's exactly what it allows you to do, is to humanize your brand, to make your brand fit into, and you really shouldn't be retrofitting it, but your brand becomes a part of the natural flow of conversation, right? One of the not so best examples of this is the whole Risa Tisa thing, when she went viral, and I think she had went looking for a BMW, and BMW was in the comments, even though they just were there for PR reasons and they never had any intention on doing anything with her or working with her. But oh girl, she ain't saying what she did and with whom, but she got paid, okay? I saw her interview with, I think she was on stage at a Sarah Jakes Roberts event. Hey, good morning, thank you. Trying to keep up with you, girl, And she was saying that, the auto pay is no longer an issue. I can't remember exactly how she said it, but the audience cracked up. She was like, auto pay, let's just say auto pay is not an issue. And Sarah Jakes was like, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Because you got money when you ain't worried about auto pay, when auto pay just happens. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. That's okay. So, digital marketing is a highly paid skill set. Child, you got it. Digital marketing it's fun. When I became a marketer at the ripe old age of 18, 2 weeks post high school, working on a major consumer brand, digital marketing really wasn't a thing, right? Like, if you saw the software and computers and that were being used way back then, it would blow your mind, right? And I heard somebody say this. They're like, even you think a lot of these big companies and brands have it all together, and they don't. And that is so true. I can't tell you how many times I've been excited to work with a brand or work with a company, and you get there and you're like, what is going on here? What year are y'all in? Y'all back in the Stone Ages. That is real. That definitely happens, right? It happens, and it happens more than what you would think. So that's what I remind people of when it comes to a lot of these gurus on social media. They are literally just winging it. Welcome, user. Thanks, my girl M, right? They are just winging it. Some of them are literally making stuff up, and they're not even thinking it through before they blurt it out on the internet. And that's why it is so important for you to know, use, and practice discernment. You need to know who it is that you serve them. You need to know who you are, because when you know who you are, you know who you are not, and you know what you will not do. Okay, and that will keep you out of the fray from falling into cult-like situations and even criminal activities with some of these gurus, because they will, not all of them, but there have been cases where people have done some crazy things, right? And your excuse being, oh, well, so-and-so told me to do it, is not okay, because you are an adult and you need to make adult decisions and be able to discern, right? So I have mentors, but I don't worship mentors. I don't take everything they say as gospel, and I have to do it the exact same way. And a true mentor is not going to force you into their way, because what they are there to do is to help you learn how to think and to make the right decision for your business. And yes, I said right decision, but notice I also said for your business. M says, yep, right? Because it's all about a thinking process. And that's one thing I really feel separates me from a lot of people, is I think in a certain way. Okay, I have a thought process. And a lot of people, a lot of adults literally do not think. If someone is not telling them what to do, they do not know their next move. They are, and I'm going to use another big word, we talked about that yesterday, they are capitulated. It's like their head's been cut off, not physically, not literally, but metaphorically. Like they just really have no idea what to do. And if you join something like DBA or even network marketing and direct sales, you know, you have to be really careful, because not DBA, but like network marketing and direct sales can become very culty. It can become very culty, like where, you know, people get on stage and they're supposed to be worshiped and all this and that. And I have but one God. I have but one God, right? Nobody, thank you for the likes, M. Nobody is going to supersede that. And the power and the control overtakes some people, right? It's happening right here on this app. Look at some of these people with 150,000. I blocked someone the other day because I just made a comment and it had no ill intentions behind it. It was black and white. And I get that you might become hypersensitive when you, but that is what comes with the territory. To whom much is given, much is required. And you have to grow into having 150,000, 160,000, 4 million followers. You have to become the person who has that and can handle that. It's not okay to fly off the handle and attack someone who, because their skin is darker than yours. You have to learn how to conduct yourself. I personally slowed my own growth down in 2016 because of that, because I didn't want to be that person who turned off a bunch of people because I won't say I'm from the streets, because that sounds really bad. But, you know, I've always grown up teetering two worlds, right? Because I was always on the college-bound track, and I didn't see a lot of my people in classroom. Often I was the only one or one of two in those upper-level courses in grade school and high school and that, right? So I always I've been adept. I'm not anymore though, interesting enough. I'm not that adept of a code switcher anymore, because in the last 10 years, that's one of the beautiful things about embracing my digital marketing skill set is, hey, what you see is what you get, right? But back in the day, I had to do a lot of code switching. I had to change depending on which, I was always the same at heart, but the way it sounded and the words and the mannerisms were different depending on the room I was in. But as I became a part of digital marketing and I ditched the corporate BS, I became more and more of just the conglomeration of the two, just the perfect melding of them together. But there was this period of time where it was like more of the hood might come out on you if you said the wrong thing. Because I don't have to worry about getting fired. I don't have to worry about no boss taking me in the room and saying and gaslighting me and saying and doing the things that they do, right? Because I am the boss. I am the company. I am the brand. And so, but I also understand that, again, to whom much is given, much is required. And even though you are the boss and you are the brand, at the end of the day, the customers are stakeholders, right? The audience, the community are stakeholders. And just like they give you the attention, they can take that attention away. And if they don't, you know who can? God. God did, right? So, and thank you for all the love, M, right? And so these are things we have to remember, right? So like I blocked this person. She actually had the audacity to say, watch your attitude. Like, you are not my mama who said I had an attitude. Because what she forgot is I can read, when I read her comments, I can read them in her voice because I've seen enough of her videos and know her triggers and her mannerisms. You don't know me from the man in the moon. You just are reading a comment in black and white, so you really don't know. You really don't know. And because you don't know, in the position that you are in and what you have been given to be a good steward of it, it is better to err on the side of caution and give the benefit of the doubt. Because I never once popped off. But if you want me to pop off, I can. Okay? And so, you know, I made a comment. I didn't want to get into what it was about. But the comment was like, you guys think blank, 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 because I don't, and here's why. It was very, there was no snottiness, no rudeness or anything behind it. And she came back with no, and basically like, I said what I said. And I was like, well, I just was asking the question, but go off. And then I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I said, oh, you think when I said blah, 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 I was referring to you? No, I was talking about the subject of this, of what you said, that person. And then she still came back with, you need to watch your attitude or you will be removed from my page. Hold on, baby. Hold on. You ain't got to worry about removing me from your page, because never again will you talk to me like that. I will remove myself and I will block you. And she lucky I didn't report her. Okay? Because I'm still working on pettiness. I'm a work in progress. God's not done with me yet. Can I get an amen? Because there was a time, right? And so I am a work in progress. And so you have to, the whole point is to get to the next level. You have to become the person. Oh, wow, shaking my head, right? You have to become the person who has what it is that you want. If you want to have 3 million followers, you need to act like you have 3 million followers today. How grateful would you be if you had 3 million followers? How grateful would you be, right? How much confidence would you have? What are the things you would do if you had 3 million followers? I'm heading to physical therapy now. Holla at you later. Okay, good. And message me, because I think you might have sent me a text last night by accident. So I need to know if that was for me about the email that needed something changed in it. So let me know and I'll message you too, okay? So you have to become the person who has what it is that you want already, okay? And ask me how I know. Okay, so if you want to become the person who has the ability to make money in their sleep and who wakes up to orders in their sleep, what do you need to do today to be that person? What would that person do, right? So a person who makes orders and gets customers in their sleep, they are definitely posting content every single day. They are posting content every single day. And they're not all over the place with their content. Their content is very strategic. Their content follows certain branding. It has a certain voice. And it has a lot of consistency. So it's not just that they are posting every day or even at the same time, but there's consistency within the content itself. Someone should be able to look out of the corner of their eye for a nanosecond and know that that's your content, right? So that's one thing, right? So if you want to become a person who gets orders in their sleep, you would want to be posting every single day, okay? A person who makes money in their sleep has automation in place, because you will not make money in your sleep without automation, okay? So even if it's automation on a small scale, right? It doesn't mean you have to have all the bells and whistles and all of the upsells and downsells. I still really don't get into that to this day, right? But I do have automation in place, right? I have the ability to collect emails and SMS text messages. That is part of my automation. A person who makes money in their sleep most definitely, most definitely is collecting leads. A person who makes money in their sleep is nurturing those leads, okay? A person who makes money in their sleep, they have call to actions. Not always to buy, but it might be to follow, it might be to save, it might be to share. A person who makes money in their sleep is going to use hooks, and they're going to be able to write strong captions. So to be able to write those strong captions, and that's the person you want to be, what you need to do is you need to learn hooks. You need to learn call to actions. You need to write every day. You need to practice and become better at writing. A person who wants to make money in their sleep practices their craft daily. A person who makes money in their sleep practices personal development daily. What did I say at the beginning of this call? I start my day each and every day with gratitude. I journal gratitude. I listen to gratitude affirmations on YouTube. I haven't had cable in over 10 years, y'all. My cable is YouTube. Now, I do have Netflix, I do have Hulu, but those aren't allowed to come on until after 6 o'clock. Those aren't allowed to come on until after 6 o'clock. I will have YouTube on with high vibe music in the background, house music. I love me some house music, music that keeps me going and it helps me to focus and not be all over the place, right? I've had bouts where I might try to have Real Housewives and other stuff on in the background, and I get overstimulated and it's just too much, right? So a person who makes money in their sleep, they make good use of their time, especially if they are working a full-time traditional job, right? They are making good use of their time, okay? So when they are in their business hours, they are doing what they are supposed to be doing during business hours, right? So if you give yourself 2 hours a day for business hours, like I said, when I was working that job that I hated, I gave them their time from 9 to 5, and from 5 to 9 was my time. And I gave myself more than 2 hours a day to work on my business, right? In the morning, in my morning commute, podcasts. I had podcasts on. When I went out and went walking for lunch, I had my earbuds in, podcasts, webinars, right? I would go live on my lunch break, right? When I went to the bathroom, I was checking and responding to comments, right? If you want a 300,000 followers on a platform, are you doing that? Are you actually engaging with your audience? Are you going to their content and showing them some love? Do you know how that lights people's soul on fire when you do that? Because no matter how small you might think your following is, you are a big deal to them, and you interacting with them, it sets their soul on fire, right? And I don't mean being arrogant like the person I just described was. I mean being real, being engaged, showing that you care and you understand that you are being given this following, you are being given this community and this audience, and that you have to be a good steward of it. See, if we learned and we practice good stewardship, good citizenship over the things that we are provided, because God is my provider, He is my supply, then we would be in a lot better position, okay? So we have to be a good steward, and you're a good steward of your time, talent, totality, and treasure, okay? Your totality is your influence. And you have to steward that. You have to go out and cultivate that. You have to go out and show yourself friendly. Y'all know the song the kids used to sing at school, "The Jesus in me loves the Jesus in you"? That's what you're supposed to be doing. You need to be interacting. Can you hit everybody all day, every day? No. But as many as you can. Give yourself a certain amount of time. A lot of people will say 10 minutes a day, 3 times a day. And that's literally all it takes, right? When you're live, welcoming people, calling them by name, reading their comments out loud, giving those shout outs, recognizing, acknowledging, because people love to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. Let me pull up that Blair Warren quote. When I heard this, it changed the game, right? People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemy. Y'all see it in the political arena. Y'all see it in the political arena? People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams. Encourage their dreams. That's inspirational content. Justify their failures. Allay their fears. Confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. Those 4 things, right? Now, I'm not saying you should be out here helping them throw rocks at their enemies, like as if their enemies are people. But if their enemies are, they don't have enough time and they want more time with their family, that's you providing solutions on helping them buy back their time, right? Double tap that screen if what I'm saying is making sense. If So help them throw rocks at their enemy. That can be, I'm going to help you buy back some of your time. If you can wake up to $300 you made in your sleep, how many hours of work would you have had to work and commute to be able to make that $300? And what would it cost you to make that $300 by way of gas, by lunch, the clothes you have to wear to work, which I suggest you still buy when you work from home, by the way. What would that cost, right? What would that cost you in time? So if you make $30 an hour, let's just say $30 an hour on average, that would take you 10 hours. So just merely by sleeping and making $300 in your sleep, you bought back 10 hours of your time that you didn't have to go out and work for somebody else and for them to tell you when you got to go to work, what you got to look like when you're there, how you got to behave, and when you can be with your children, your grandchildren, and your family, and when you can't. Wow, I've been on here a whole hour already. Okay? So that's that mindset, right? And that's why it's important to spend that hour each morning, 30 minutes, 20 minutes in personal development, journaling, listening to affirmations, doing affirmations, saying them out loud. There's a reason that millionaires and billionaires do that every single day. It's not just because someone else told them to do it. It's because they know, right? Back in 2012, I really began to study spiritual warfare, right? Because it was one of the toughest years of my life. I lost my grandfather, who was my rock, my absolute hero, right? And 2 weeks after his funeral, my cousin, I'm the oldest grandchild, she was the third grandchild, and she was like a sister to me and like a daughter to my mother, because her mother had passed away my senior year in high school, and my grandmother had raised her. And she went in for a day's procedure and had a heart attack on the table. Right, her only sibling was in Italy in the armed services, and so she was on the machine until he got here. She never wanted to be on that machine because she saw her mother on that machine. And I sat with my grandfather as he transitioned, and I sat with her when the machine was turned off. So it was a rough year from that alone. Plus I was working in an extremely toxic environment, okay? Extremely toxic environment, right? And so it felt like the world was against me. It just felt like no matter what was happening, somebody was out to get me, okay? And so you have to know your ideal client at that level and speak to them at that level. Like, I get it, right? It feels like the world is caving in on you. Just this morning alone, you woke up and the dog crapped on the floor, the coffee machine went crazy, and now there's coffee all over the counter, your kids are screaming at you, and you've got a deadline that you're nowhere near completing, right? So when you talk to your ideal client like that, that makes them feel seen, known, heard, and acknowledged, okay? It's not that difficult, and that is why oftentimes we suggest that your first ideal client be you, three or four steps behind where you are now. People aren't expecting you to be all the way, all the way to glory. In fact, they kind of like will turn on you if you get too far ahead of them, And I'm not saying it's bad. Like Jackie Aina is goals, right? But for some people who haven't done the work, they feel a certain way about her. I think she's magnificent. There are things like anybody, it's like a little sister. Yeah, she has little things that will annoy me, but at the end of the day, she's still goals. She's very much goals, right? And I followed her long enough to see where she's come from, where she is, and where she is still yet to go, right? And at the end of the day, she's still human. We have to stop worshiping these people and taking their every word as holy gospel, okay? And that is what I love about DBA. Brooklyn is very humble. She wasn't even telling everybody that she was the creator. Everybody else started telling everybody that she was the creator. She just wanted to create something and stay in the background. And I think that's absolutely remarkable. It is truly a collective product, and she gives credit where credit is due. And I can't tell you how many environments I've been in, including network marketing and direct sales, where people will steal your work, they will copy your work, they will copy your strategies. There's a company right now that I am an affiliate of, and I know for a fact they're going through my old content and rebranding it and putting the strategy out there as if they came up with it. And it has Tamira Hamilton written all over it. I mean, the exact strategies that I was using. And they will not utter my name, they will not give me credit whatsoever. But if I was, oh, and so and blah, 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 but because they just feel entitled to it. And that's crazy, right? And so this time around, being a part of a community for me as an introvert is goals. That's what I want to do. I want to be part of a community. I want to be part of something bigger than myself. It's just who I am, and I embrace that. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Okay. But I also want to make sure it is the right community for me. One where, like I said, people are giving credit, where there's true collaboration, where there's a true collective. And that I have found in DBA. The DBA community, there is nothing else like it out there. There's just nothing else like it out there, where there is a true spirit of collaboration. And I'm up here, that's why y'all down here. I was at church once, and a preacher said that, that's why we up here and y'all down there. And I was like, whoa, you said that out loud? You really said that out loud? Okay, go off then. Okay. I see you and I heard you. Okay. So the community in DBA is awesome. Matter of fact, I love checking it. Let me look at it. Let me see, what is going on with the community, because like I said, there's almost 3,800 members now. And when I joined on the 12th, it was at about 2,800, 26 or 2,800. I told y'all, as we got closer to the 19th, because the drop of volume 2 was originally scheduled for tomorrow, and we voted yesterday, and it got pushed off to July 1st. Okay. So let's look at the community. The community uses a software called Skool, Skool, and I love Skool. I love it. I always sound like them CapCut memes. I love it. And let me tell you, my TikToks, I have gotten out of the 200 view jail because I went through the module on TikTok in DBA. Okay, there are a lot of people hating on MRR, right? And like I said, I've never hated on it. I just gave my honest opinion. And that's going to be a balanced opinion, meaning I'm going to give the good and the bad, right? And one of the bad things is the way that, various factions have marketed it. And I see a lot of people pulling back from that now because they're realizing the toxicity of it. What am I doing here? I'm supposed to be in community. I'm in classroom. But I love looking at the classroom because it's so pretty. This is where I want to be. Okay, so let's look at share your wins. I did it. I can finally make this post and be a testimonial. I made my first DBA course sale. I made my first DBA course sale. When I tell you, I screamed, I'm going to email her extras because she's my first client. I love it here. And that's what I love to see. I love to see people winning. I love to see it. I love to be a part of it. Come on now. Go back. My iPad's tripping just a little bit. Okay. So 3 DBA. Set up my stand store Saturday and sold 3 in less than 24 hours. Made our first sale in 24 hours. My first sale with DBA. This is what I love. I check this a few times a day, every day. Absolutely love hearing people winning with digital products. You know, there are a lot of people hating on MRR. I think it's projection. I think it's insecurity. I think it's scarcity mindset. And you know, I'll leave it at that, right? There is more than enough out here for all of us to eat, right? You know, there are people who, for example, you may want to create a digital product on health, on gut health, right? Well, there's nothing saying that because you bought MRR that you can't leverage DBA to create that product on gut health. It's not either or, y'all. It's not either or. You can do both. You can do both, right? You can buy DBA and never sell it and use the information that is in DBA to create a gut health product, to create a beauty business ebook. You can use it to create an Airbnb digital product. You can use it to create any product that you want, because the knowledge on how to do it quickly and easily is in DBA. And I think that's the issue that a lot of people have with it, is that it is spreading the knowledge, and a scarcity mindset will say, oh, if DBA is teaching people these things, what am I going to teach them? And it diminishes the value of my product. No, it means you need to examine your product and make sure it's top notch and update it and improve it and raise your price, is what it means, right? That is that business mindset. And that's why I love that there is a module on mindset in DBA, and it's prominent. It's one of the first 3 modules, is to go through and get your mindset together, okay? Because you got to do that every single day, even in corporate America, especially as a woman, baby, woo, you really need to have your mind together and be, you know, have your armor on. That's what I learned with spiritual warfare, right? You want to put on your armor. You want to have your belt and your shield, because the spiritual warfare is real. Is real, right? And sometimes the own spirit is your own, not nobody else's. Nobody like to talk about that. Sometimes you're the problem. Sometimes the call is coming from inside the house. Sometimes the call is coming from inside the house, right? So I'm gonna go so I can get this lead magnet funnel up. If you want a free look at DBA, hit me up. I will get the document over to you for you to review, and you can click, you know, right in the document to go ahead and join if that's what you choose to do. If not, no harm, no foul. But I will get that over to you. You can also text me. You can text me sneak peek at 414-404-6040. There are also tons of freebies at the link in my bio. There is the Essential Guide to Social Media Engagement, the secret to winning at Pinterest when you are short on time, and the Conversion Catalyst Checklist, which also gives you my Rise story selling framework. So I will see you later. After a while, crocodile. And don't forget, you can get DBA Volume 1 and Volume 2 for only $111 instead of $333 when it drops on July 1st. But I got to get these emails out, and then I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.